To me, the desert is a peaceful place. I'm alone. It's the best place I can go to hear the Lord. And to be out there, it brings back memories and thoughts of Afghanistan. It's taught me how fragile life can be. You never know what's gonna happen. In an instant, things can change.
Before this, I just kind of let regular days just kind of go by like they were just normal. And now little things seem like big things to me. Putting my children to bed at night, waking up in the morning and making pancakes. I don't view those things as little things anymore. They can stop at any moment. And that night, things stopped.
9 June 2012 started out like any other day. We were going after a high-value target, so we got the guys up, loaded the trucks.
I was in the car with my sister. We were getting ready to go to dinner.
We rolled out the gate. We were in the valley. We were all joking and talking, and the explosion went off. Blew the truck 27 feet in the air. And the blast instantly killed Tyler Davis, who was my driver. They said that I was dead for about 27 minutes, and then somehow I came back. They were sitting there filling out the paperwork, and my heart was starting to beat. And I sat up, and everybody was like, what the heck just happened? At the time, I knew God, but I didn't have a relationship with God, so I didn't know what was gonna happen. Somewhere in there, somebody got the bright idea of bringing me the satellite phone and having me call my wife.
I remember my phone rang with the ever so familiar unknown caller. I always answered. And it was John, and he sounded very, very different. And I made her pull over the car so I could hear what he was saying more clearly. And I could hear John's shaken voice.
I told her that there was a lot of blood.
My back hurts.
Couldn't feel my legs.
And then a voice came on the phone and said, ma'am, we're gonna do everything we can to save your husband.
We'll do everything we can to save your husband's life.
And I can remember the line going dead and getting out of my sister's car and running into the middle of like an abandoned parking lot. I don't know where I was going, but I needed like the world to stop turning.
I spent 6 months in the hospital, learning to walk, learning to talk again. My family is the most important part of my life. Then I watched my daughters sit on the floor, playing with Barbies, watching movies with me, just trying to get better.
It was 33 surgeries in 6 months. And I can remember getting very frustrated with the doctor one day, and he said, ma'am, it's like a car crash on steroids. Your husband was not supposed to survive this. His heart and his determination is what got us through recovery. Doctors would come in and they would say things like, this man is never going to walk again. He would say, I've got girls to walk down the aisles at weddings. I will be walking down those aisles.
Yeah, Tyler,
Don't take too much tea.
a little bit.
So 2012, I hit the ID, and then started recovery after that. I was going through physical therapy. I was going to the VA constantly. I got a job, started working, and I started searching for what I was missing in the Army.
He kept looking for this adrenaline rush that he couldn't fill. And just being at home with us every day, he wasn't getting it. He was on a path of self-destruction.
I was trying to run and gun still. Could have ended either in death or in jail for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm. The more that we tried to mend ourselves, the more I knew that God was missing in this picture. And so I was looking for a faith-based military marriage retreat, and Operation Heal Our Patriots is what came up in my Google search.
Sarah had talked to him and told me that it was a salmon fishing trip, and
I showed you the
Alaska.
video. I showed you the video, though.
like a week before we left.
And I may or may not have said it's a fishing trip in Alaska with just a teeny tiny bit of Bible study.
A little bit of Bible study. You know, our week in Alaska, every person either shakes your hand or hugs you or talks to you. You know, you see this beautiful lake right in front from your cabin, and you're just like, oh wow, this is awesome. Next day you get up for breakfast, you know, you do devotional, and then we went on an open boat with Ralph and went out, and towards the end of the day I caught a big old pike. And then you have a class that night.
When you look at this verse, you say, there is a time to tear down and a time to mend. Many of you guys have gone through a season where you've been torn in your marriages. You know what? This is a time to mend.
That's when it kind of hits you that this isn't a fishing trip. You're in for something else.
To change John's heart, it was going to have to be something pretty strong.
For me, when I got called out by Chaplain Steve and said, hey, we need to have a private conversation, it all came home, and I was like, I need to reevaluate what I'm doing. That's when I opened up my heart and let Jesus in. So you have your week, and you bond with 9 other couples. And when you leave Alaska, we're still in contact with all of those couples.
I was afraid that once the week was done, that was it. And I like that it's a for a lifetime. We're gonna check up on you, we're gonna pour into your marriage, we're gonna give you more tools. It's not just like, oh, here's a week, everything's fixed, see you later, bye.
It's 100% a family.
The first accident in Afghanistan, it felt like the world was crumbling. And then when John was injured in Texas, we were just, it was kind of like we can do this.
In May 2018, I went down to Texas to go on a hog hunt. We were hunting out of helicopters, and I was like, oh, it'd be cool. Everyone's like, oh, it'd be so much fun.
And I got a phone call, and she said, have you heard from the guys? There was a helicopter crash in Texas, and the guys were on it.
We ended up hitting a tree at 75 knots, 65 feet in the air. And when we landed, the helicopter actually landed on my legs.
And my immediate reaction was, you're lying. No. I could not believe my ears. Part of me just went right back to that day in Afghanistan. And John was the one that said, we're gonna stop right now and we're gonna pray. I knew God was gonna do something big with John, but I never knew that God was going to light such a fire inside of John. The call from Afghanistan, I got a shaken, scared, unsure husband. The call from Texas, he was in a lot of pain, but he was completely calm. This story, it doesn't define us, but it defines who God is in us, who God is in this marriage. And had we not participated in Operation Hail Our Patriots, I don't even want to think about what our situation would have been like without it. I've never been more thankful that I fibbed about a fishing trip in Alaska.
Me too.